Hi, I'm Adam from AM Music, and in this video I want to share with you some of my favourite Logic Pro shortcuts. I've tried to choose ones that you might not know but are still super useful. And towards the end I'll share some that I think every single producer using Logic Pro should know. Let's go! Capture record, Shift R. Okay, so have you ever had it where you play something really cool, you're jamming, it's sounding good, and then you play something really cool and you're like, oh man, I wish I was recording that. You can press Shift R and that will bring it back. Let me demonstrate. Imagine I'm going to play something cool on the bass. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I thought that was really cool, but oh no, I wasn't recording. You hit Shift R, and whoa, look, there it is. So let's look into it, let's have a listen. And there it is, exactly as I played it. So this is a really cool feature that gets me out of trouble loads. Definitely worth knowing. You just hit Shift R and it magically comes back. Number 2, move the playhead forward and back by a bar. It can be a bit of a pain navigating in Logic sometimes. Rather than having to go up here to get around places or click or however you like to do it, you can also do it with your keyboard. So if you use the less than and greater than, so less than, greater than, so greater than, or less than, you can actually jump a bar at a time, so that will get you around a lot quicker. Or if you just want to go back a tiny bar, then you just have to press it once. And if you really want to chuck this on steroids, you can jump 8 bars at a time by holding Shift. So Shift and less than, 8 bars back, Shift and greater than, 8 bars forward. So you can get around quite quickly by doing this. Nifty, huh? Number 3, zooming horizontally and vertically using the command and cursor arrows. So zooming in and out in Logic can be a bit painful for new people. So what you can do is hold command and then use the cursor arrows. So up and down do the vertical, left and right do the horizontal. So if I want to zoom in vertically, I go down, and then to go back, I would go up. And to zoom in horizontally, I go right. And then to zoom out on the horizontal, I go left. And you can press both of these at the same time, so you can do that. This I find is a lot easier than coming up here every time, but actually my favorite way to zoom in and out in Logic is to hold Control and Option, or Control and Alt if you're in the UK. This brings up the magnifying glass tool, and then you just highlight what you want to zoom in on, and you can get in quite easily. And then if you find you're too zoomed in, hit Z and you can come out again. Cool, next one. One of my favorites, and that is the quick transpose. So say you're messing around with some ideas, you want to hear how something else sounds in a different octave or in a different semitone. Alt or Option if you're in the US, and the up and down cursor keys again. So I've got a flute here. Say I want to jam that up 7 semitones. That was super easy, and all I did for that was hold Option or Alt and use the up and down arrows. So that will do it by a semitone each time you press it up or down. And you'll see that that -7, that figure there is changing, and that shows how much you've transposed it. And if you want to go crazy with this one too, you hold Shift at the same time and it will jump up in octaves. So Option or Alt, Shift and up, up. So it's now up 24 semitones. That's 2 octaves, or you can come down. That's really neat, and it also works on audio as well. So let's find some audio. Got a guitar here. Okay, well, what does that sound like an octave higher? Shift, Option. It sounds pretty nasty. How about down an octave? Okay, that's a bit better. Sounds a bit more like a bass guitar now rather than a normal guitar. So that one was Option for semitones and Shift and Option for octaves. This is super helpful for when you're coming up with ideas and you just want to hear how stuff might sound if it was a little bit higher or a little bit lower in pitch. I use this one all the time. Okay, next one. Show and hide instrument chains. And you can use V for this. This will show or hide the instrument or any effects you had currently opened when you press V. So I've got an Alchemy open here, and then I also bring up a compressor and I want to tweak both of them together. What I can do is actually link them together with V, and that will show or close whatever plugins you have open. So if you want to go back to your arrangement quickly, you just press V and they'll be locked together until you close one of them. So close it, now press V, only Alchemy opens, close alchemy, press V, now nothing's there. So for instance, if I was working on this bass bus and I've got a compressor there, and an overdrive, and I've got a channel EQ, and I'm kind of tweaking them all at once, but I want to go back and quickly check something and I don't want to have to close them all and open them again, you can just hit V. So I find that helpful if you're going backwards and forwards between kind of a sound design stage and an arrangement stage, and you want to be able to see this screen, but you also want to get back your previous plugins. So that's quite handy. So those are some of the cool ones that I hope were new to you. Now let's take a look at the ones I think you should know off by heart. Hopefully you already know, and it will just be a bit of a refresher because this will really speed up your workflow. Okay, so T is for the tool, and that will bring up this menu, which is the same as these two up here for your first tool and your secondary tool. And that can just allow you to choose your tools a bit quicker. Now, when you press T, you can also hold down Command, and let's say I want the scissors, it's now put that to my secondary tool. So if I hold Command, it will now be scissors. Press T to go back, hold Command again, say I want the marquee tool instead, it's now marquee tool. So this just saves you a bit of time rather than having to go up here and choose stuff from here. So the next one is the piano roll, you press P. So if you find a MIDI region, then you hit P, and that will open it up. Saves time. Next one you should know is automation. So if you want to see what's going on behind all of this, any automated things that you've done, hit A, and then you can see all the different automation lanes. And then you just press A again to close it. Okay, so the next one is Command R, and that will duplicate a region. So Command R, and there you go, it will do it one after the other. I like to think of this as replicating because that makes me remember Command R. Similar is loop. So if I want to loop that instead, you press L, loop on, loop off. Another helpful one is the cycle. So C turns that on, so you don't have to keep coming up here and clicking it. C. Similar one is click as well, the metronome. So with a K, so that will turn your metronome on and off. Everybody's favorite, Command Z. So if I do something stupid, like why would I do this? But I've done that. Okay, let's get rid of that. Command Z, Command Z, Command Z, and that's just edit undo. Very helpful. Another one you should all know is Command A. That selects everything. You might not want to do it in this arrangement page, but it can definitely be helpful if you just want to say go in here and Command A, select all of these. That's very handy. And another way of zooming in, as I said, zooming in can be a bit of a pain in Logic, but you can just select the things you want to zoom in on and then hit Z, and it will zoom in exactly on those two things. And to get out of it, hit Z again. If this ever happens that you get too zoomed in on something, what I find best is just to find a bit of grid, gray space, hit Z, and it will zoom to fit your whole page. And I think that's everything. Did you find these helpful? Or did I miss out any of your favorite ones? Please share them in the comments below. And if you like this video, then maybe check out my hidden Logic Pro features in this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.